வானம் எட்ட சொல்லு வந்தே மாதரம், பூமி எங்கும் சொல்லு வந்தே மாதரம். தேசத்தின் முழக்கம் கேக்குதே, திசை எட்டும் திரும்பி பார்க்குதே. என் தேசத்தின் முழக்கம் கேக்குதே, திசை எட்டும் திரும்பி பார்க்குதே. ஒரு ரௌத்திரம்
జెండామాన ఇండియా, కాల ఎత్తి దూసుకెళ్లే సింహమాన ఇండియా. యువతలోని సామర్థ్యాన్ని పైకి తెచ్చే ఇండియా, లేదు అన్న మాటే లేని రక్తగర్భ ఇండియా. కలలే ఫలించగా విజయం వరించగా లేచిరా సోదరా, లోకమెరుగని తలుపు తెరువగా వేగమే రాదరా. శక్తిని రుజువు చేయగా ప్రపంచ చరిత్రలే తిరిగి రాయగా ప్రగతి బాటలో అడుగు వేయరా దేశం నీదిరా. ഇന്ത്യയുടെ മണ്ണിൽ പിറന്നവർ നമ്മൾ, ഇതിഹാസ മധുരം നുണഞ്ഞവർ നമ്മൾ. ഇടനെഞ്ചിലാനന്ദ ശ്രുതി ചേർത്തു പാടാം വന്ദേ മാതരം. സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ മധുരം നുണഞ്ഞവർ നമ്മൾ, അഭിമാനസാരം അറിഞ്ഞവർ നമ്മൾ. ഇമ പൂട്ടിടാതൊറ്റ മനസ്സോടെ പാടാം വന്ദേ മാതരം.
सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो. सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो. चाहे जितना जोर लगा लो, सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी. सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डालो. चाहे जितना जोर लगा लो, सबसे आगे होंगे हिंदुस्तानी. हमने कहा है, तुम भी कहो. हमने कहा
सबसे प्यारा. आओ हम मिलजुल के बोले अब तो यारा, अपना जहां है सबसे प्यारा.
हमने कहा है जो तुम भी कहो. शरारे हैं पानी के धारे हैं, हम काटे कटते नहीं. भारत प्रिय धात्री पाहि मां, परम पूज्य पावन जनयित्री रक्षमा. जय 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 वंदे मातरम.
In fact, the Parliament of Commons, Lord Mountbatten, so he speed up the entire process and then he has taken a decision. And in the press release, all of a sudden he announced that no, the British government is so hurry in the quitting India, and ultimately what happened, the common people who are not aware of any of such things, so nearly 5 lakh to 10 lakh approximately in between, so they were lost their life because of this partition. And then the West Pakistan and East Pakistan, both sides, the many people they traveled, and then they just identified the living places without knowing where they are going. So that kind of turmoil situation happened during that period, and then that period we never forget. No, we always have to remember, and then we have to enhance our nationalism to show our respect towards our great nations. Sir, on these occasions, we request you to share your experiences, because you are from the land of that place where this separation happened, especially from Delhi and then Punjab. So all the people the migrated both ends. Sir, kindly.
Thank you, Mr. Venkat Rao. Those of you who are not aware, he's our new DSW, who has taken over recently along with Dr. Sebi as the Deputy Dean. And I'm glad they have taken their duty in a very wonderful way at a time when we are celebrating our 75th, completion of 75th year of independence. Let me tell you, I become little emotional remembering those moments. So therefore, let me start by sharing another fact. We all celebrate our Independence Day. In the reality of the word, it is not Independence Day. There is no document in our history whereby Lord Mountbatten or any of our Indian friends or any of our Indian leaders would have signed a document which says India is independent. There is no record of that. What is there in our record, which probably 99.9% people will not know, what is on record is the division of India and Pakistan. That is on record, that which part will go where, without realizing, Britishers, they ruled us. There is no doubt about it. There are positives and negatives of that, but when they decided to partition, they never bothered about the principle of continuity that we have in our normal courses. They never bothered about the principle of land, traditions, conventions. When they did this, they never realized that Punjab is one. Bengal is one, culture is same, eating habits, food habits, family relations. So, what they did, they just violently had drawn a line that this is West Pakistan, this is other Punjab. So, now what was there? There was no such thing. If you have talked to your forefathers, that it was all Indian Punjabis who were staying that side. It was a very mixed culture. What I have talked to my parents and grandparents, the way they were living, we owned a huge land in that side, and it was like a kingdom. And Muslims, Punjabis, Hindus, Sikhs, they were all staying like one family. It was, one could never imagine that they will be partitioning, they will be separating. So, one fine day, a line is drawn, and you are told to go. With what horror I have heard, that ladies were cut to size, pieces. They were thrown in the gutters. And, this is something, when you hear, you can't see all this. Suppose we are all settled here, and somebody comes and tells you, just get out of your house, and you don't get even a time to pack up your medicines. They're just thrown out, that's it. That was the situation where, if you have seen some of the photographs, people have had some kind of a suitcase or a guttry or whatever way you call it, That's what they could take. And that also they could not take it because when they were climbing the trains, that got dropped. So they barely came empty-handed, and there are examples when people came and started from the scratch. One example is this MDH masala owner. Now, people were industrious. They came up with their own dint of hard work, and now wherever we are prosperous because of our own hard work. So we celebrate our independence. Yes, we were till date, we were not celebrating the horror which people had gone through. The Partition Day, Partition Remembrance Day, it came to the notice of our Prime Minister. He says this should also be remembered. Let's pay homage to those who died, who left everything and they came here. So in the history, our history friends will be able to tell us, this has been the largest exodus in the world ever, which happened in 47. 10 lakh people lost their lives. Good number of people migrated from this side to that side, and on the way, the kind of genocide that took place, it is unthinkable. So this is what we are remembering, and we are trying to remember that the freedom that has come our way, it has not been a very easy thing. It has not come on a platter. We have worked for it, we have sacrificed for it, and unfortunately, we call it independence celebration. There is, as I said, no document. Document is, yes, we have partitioned. And partitioning was some fellow sitting there drew a line that this is this, this is that. They never bothered about what way it should be done. It was done hurriedly. Similarly, McMahon line that we have between India and China, the fellow who was doing this boundary, he didn't have a thin pen the way we use these days, ink pen. He had a marker. So he drew a line with that. And that line on the map, when it was drawn and it was actually taken to the land, it turned out to be equivalent to about 4 kilometers. Now 4 kilometers long border we have in India and China. They said, whose land is it? Nobody's. It is no man's land. Because this line is drawn this way, and that is what is being followed. Chinese will say this is ours, we'll say it is ours. So McMahon line continues to be that huge area which belongs to nobody. And the way China's aggressive policy is, they are trying to control all that. And we, with our own style, we are trying to contain them. We are not trying to occupy anything, we only contain. We engage Chinese, that's it. Similarly, on this side also, same thing happened. I will not dwell into what happened subsequently because you would have all known about it. The Kashmir, which got divided, it was not divided. In fact, the whole thing was given to, whole state was given to us. But then the Kabilis, the tribes of that area, they attacked and it went on. And that is what is there in the history, that they were proceeding towards Srinagar when our people asked we should be allowed to send the army. And since we were basically peace-loving, we said, no, we will negotiate and settle. For 2-3 days it went on. And then our defense army chief at that time said, allow us, otherwise we will be losing larger chunk. And then this is how Indian army went in and then could push them back. And whatever we now have is our Kashmir, and the other part is what we call Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And that division, that dispute still lingers on. There was a movement called NAM, Non-Aligned Missions, and there about 63 countries decided we will not join hands with eastern side or western side during the Cold War period, and 3 stalwarts were there, Marshal Tito, Abdul Nasser from Egypt, and our Prime Minister Nehru. They sat together and said, let's form a third group. They did form a third group, and that for about good 15 years carried a balance between the eastern side and the western side, Russian side and the American side. And that prevented World War III for good 15 years. After that, we lost the relevance of NAM, probably for a variety of reasons which I will not be able to go into the details. And now India has emerged as one of the forces. Waterways has emerged. I think all of you, I would urge all of you to study that what kind of a thinking has gone into that from first 5-year plan, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. and the way we have, on many an occasion I have highlighted this, that where we were in 47 and where we are, I think it is a testimony of our own hard work that we have come up to a situation where the entire world is appreciating India, and wherever we now go, they look at us with a lot of respect. 7 other countries got independence in 47. We were the ones. Obviously, Pakistan was a subsidiary which came up along with that. Sri Lanka was one. Congo was another one. South Korea was another one. So they all got independence. A number of other countries, 7 in all. So what way they have come up, what way we have come up, it's a comparative study. If somebody looks at it, I think it's an eye-opener. Korea is 1/4 of UP, half of UP roughly. And what we are in size and the kind of problems that we inherited with 10 lakh people coming from the other side, it is mind-boggling exercise. And hats off to our officers who spent 2 years in carrying out a data that what you had in Pakistan, they said 1/4 of that we'll be giving you here. Where do we give you? What do we give you? All that was decided. And I said my family owned was the one which owned substantial fortune. We came here after about 2 years of staying in tents and difficult circumstances. 64 members stayed in my father's house in Jalandhar, where he was posted as a civil servant. For good 9 months, imagine, 64 persons. They were pitched outside and they were fed. So such difficult circumstances we faced, and many people ailing because there were no medicines at that time, many people dying in front of our eyes. So that kind of a situation was there where our officers and public servants took about 2 years to redistribute everything, and then people got settled. 10 lakhs this side, 10 lakhs that side. It is absolutely unthinkable. But hats off, as I said, it was all done. I will say in a very perfect way, many people will have a grudge because if I had income of 2 lakhs in Pakistan and here I'm not even getting 2,000, but we were looked after. Food was given, clothes were given, admissions were given to kids, schools were opened, all those things were done, and we have now come up with that hard work. Now, Happy or Partition Remembrance Day is a good endeavor to start, because people should know about their background, people should know what difficulties they have faced. We celebrate independence, we say, well, that's what we have earned. We forget what horrors people have gone through that. And similar situation was in West Bengal. We call it West Bengal. In Bengal, the way there was a partition, the way people left their places, and the way a king became a pauper and a pauper became king, there are umpteen number of documented evidences there. So if you go through, you will find, had it not been there, that's another question. Had that partition not been there, where we would have been, somebody has projected that also. But then we have overcome all those difficulties and we have earned our freedom. We have earned our freedom. It's a corollary which has followed. That there is a document of partition signed by Lord Mountbatten and others, but no document saying India is free now. No document granting India freedom. Obviously, once it was divided, we are free. It's our own land. That's what we were trying to find out. Now, there is a historical evidence on that also, that what led to this partition. There's no time for me to go through. But it is a good endeavor, as I said, on our government, on our Prime Minister, that they have thought of starting this as a happy Remembrance Day for our forefathers who suffered and who contributed to this stage where we are in. So we should pay our homage to them. We remember them with a lot of respect. Let's pay the best that we can give as a reciprocatory gesture to those who suffered, and we keep them in our minds, and we pray that their souls rest in peace, and our country grows at the fastest pace. We all contribute to that. We get enough strength to contribute to the growth of our country and make this nation as a prosperous nation for the benefit of everybody who is with us. We don't say who is what. We are all Indians. That's what you have to remember. And that is the hallmark of our nation. Our constitution is the only constitution in the world. Let me tell you, even America doesn't match us. Where we say we are all equal, all religions are same, we all have same freedom, we all have same directive principles to follow, fundamental duties to be there, fundamental rights to be there. Ours is the only constitution. Rest all, if you carry out a comparative study, you will find that India's constitution is the only one which on 15th August 47 granted equal rights to everybody, and on 16th August 47 everybody had the voting right. Everybody had everything. Whereas in America, Britain, which we call the oldest democracy, they don't have that. There they gave voting rights to the women folk after 50 years. America did it after 100 years. Slavery Act was, we never had any of these things. So therefore we should feel proud of the fact that we are the torchbearer of the real light which can be shown to the world in terms of equality, in terms of progress, in terms of respect to others. So therefore, I am very happy that all of you are here, and we are remembering them, and we are celebrating our 76th Independence Day. 75 years in a person's life is a long enough life, but not long enough if we compare a country of the size of India. Because if you compare, Americans had very uniform policy, uniform population, uniform styles. Britishers had similar, all one race, one kind of convention, one language. No, India was the one which had probably 2,000 dialects, different eating styles, different dressing styles. All these things, to bring them together and to come up to where we are, I think we need to be feeling very proud of the fact that if not economy alone, if we consider on the values, on ethics, on philosophy, I think we are number one. There is no match in the world, be it Korea, be it Taiwan, because they are all uniform lots. We are not the ones. So therefore, we need to be proud of the fact that we are Indians. We have done this, we have achieved this. Now, if I am not able to speak Telugu and Telugu fellow comes here, we do converse, we do respect one another. This is India's strength. And let's continue to maintain that in all seriousness, with all strength, and continue to progress, work for our country, and remember the way we have come up. And there is no need to be complacent about this. We continue to have this. I would apologize that I did become a little emotional, but if you go through that, it's difficult to control. So I'm thankful to you that you all have come here. This exhibition will be here. In your own time, go through this and see the kind of times, difficult times we had passed through and the way we have now come up. So that's about it. I know I've spoken a little more, but then whatever I speak from whatever comes from within my heart. I don't prepare, I don't look at this, and I felt emotional. There is a reason for this. And in my house, if you go, I can see you some of the old photographs. I've heard from my grandfather all these tales. And we have also come up in a very difficult, hard way. And that's the way we need to. I mean, if somebody is from Bengal here and who has heard these kind of stories, I'll call it stories now because they're only documented, and unless we read about it, we probably will never be able to know. So, thank you so very much. Let's all pray to Almighty that we continue to grow, and we continue to grow in strength, and we continue to work in all sincerity for the benefit of our society and nation at large, so that our nation can throw and show a right light to the world in achieving world peace, not at looking at narrow ends, that this is my area and this is the way China is saying, Taiwan is going to be mine, Russia is saying, Ukraine is going to be, whatever. So, and India has always been a peace-loving country. We have never shown any aggression to anyone. We have never tried to occupy anybody's land. We believe in coexistence. So let's continue to follow that and pray to Almighty that we all move towards right progress collectively in a very unified manner, so that our nation becomes as great as it used to be, and we are able to show the world that this is the right way to achieve peace. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for coming here.
Bharat Mata ki
Jai.
Bharat Mata ki
Jai.
Bharat Mata ki
Jai.
We also just felt that how Tarmac situation happened at that point of time. Nearly 6.5 millions, the forced migration that happened from this end to that end, even that side to this end, equal more or less 6 to 6.5 millions. And it was, when I was just reading little bit literature on this, when they were just migrating, they don't know where they are going and where they stay and what about their residence, and it's completely, they don't know. That was the conditions. And in the process, even if you just look at the West Bengal and then East Bengal, so it was again 2.5 millions, the forced migrations. And they're all sacrificed, and ultimately we got this independence. And then even the independence that we got, it was somewhat conditional for the partitions, right? And we know that we can understand the Britishers, especially when they were separating our nation, and then the giving independence. So they did so strategically, and even today also we are facing all these issues, right? So with that, thank you so much, sir, and we are really fortunate to listen you from your your experiences and your the personal level, your feelings. And with this, I request Dr. Sibi to offer vote of thanks.
Very good morning to all of you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Madam Vice Chancellor, our directors, registrar, finance officer, all the officers of Pondicherry University, AS, DAS, deans, head of the departments, and all the scholars and students, faculty members assembled here. So when India is celebrating 76th Independence Day, we are also joining the country in celebrating many events by organizing many events in our university. So yesterday, as all of you know, many departments, many administrative and academic buildings, we had flag hosting. And today we have inaugurated this very important day, a Partition Horror Remembrance Day in our campus too. So I take this opportunity to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor for inaugurating this exhibition here today, and with his emotional, sentimental words, which realized all of us to know the importance of the day. Thank you so much, sir. And Madam also for coming here and joining us for this event today. Thank you, ma'am. I take this opportunity to thank our director who has given all the direction to us. And let me take this opportunity to thank all the support given by our PRO Mahesh sir and his team for organizing this event. Actually, we organized everything in very short time, and I really appreciate our Dean Students Welfare for taking all the very fast steps to make this event in short time. Thank you, sir. So I thank all the faculty members who have come here. Thank you for your presence, and few students and research scholars are also there. We have two research scholars, Mr. Unni Krishnan and Dinakar. They were there behind this video, and they helped us all through in making this event to happen. Thank you. And I could see her chief wardens, all the wardens, and all the fraternity of Pondicherry University. So thank you all for your presence.